All right, here I am. So I still am not sure how this is going to work out or if I'm going to continue with it or anything, but I did have a couple people last night after I went live on Facebook tell me different topics I could talk about on my vlogs, and I have a couple ideas, so maybe once I run out of ideas I'll be done. Maybe I'll be done before that. I'm not really sure, but I thought I would just start out by talking about where I am now, what's been going on for the last couple years since I graduated high school. I post quite a few things on Facebook about where I'm at and how things are going, but there's not like the nitty-gritty details. So first things first, I graduated high school and went to Williston State College, where I received my degree. I have an Associate of Arts from there. I took advantage of the Alva J. Field scholarships. I won Miss Williston State College through the Miss America program and received even more scholarships. So I got that degree completely free through those amazing, incredible scholarships. After that, I moved to Minot and attended Minot State University. I lived in this cute little one-bedroom apartment that I rented from a family friend, and I entered the education program there. I graduated there. Well, I walked in May. I graduated there actually this last December when I finished my student teaching at Williston Trinity Christian here in town. And I actually just printed off today. I was issued my education teaching license today. So super, super cool. I was so excited. We had Qdoba to celebrate, which if you know me in any way, shape, or form, Qdoba is life and queso is life. So that was a perfect way for us to celebrate, even though I'm detoxing right now. I thought a little cheat meal would be okay. So after everything, I'm done now. I moved home this last summer to the incredible house that my husband had bought for us. At the time, he was my fiance. Moved in, got settled in. I was supposed to student teach like normal, which would mean I would go into another teacher's classroom and I would kind of observe them for a while and then teach a lesson here and teach a lesson there and then maybe teach for a couple full days, and that was about it. And then I found out that I was going to be the 5th grade teacher at Williston Trinity Christian School. Now I'm kind of skipping ahead. I was involved in the Miss America organization since I was a 1st grader when I won Little Miss Williston. And after I won Miss Williston State College and had all my amazing scholarships, I went to Dickinson and competed, and I won Miss Rough Rider Days. Well, in the Miss America organization, they assign us Little Sisters. And Little Sisters is somebody that you spend that week with, that you bond with, that you just have an incredible time with. They are so supportive. Both of my little sisters were incredibly supportive. I was a little sister when I was little. And my second year as Miss Rough Rider Days, I got a little sister and I got her note and it said Micah Fleck. And I went, Fleck. That was the name of my science teacher my freshman year. So it has her address because I could send her something beforehand or send her a thank you note. And so I looked it up in Google and found out that, yeah, that's where my science teacher lives. So lo and behold, probably 3, 4, 5 years after I had him, because I had him freshman year, I had his daughter as my little sister for Miss North Dakota. It was incredible. It was so nice to see him and to talk to him. And while we were talking, we got into the subject of what I was in school for and what I was studying. And after that, we just kind of formed a bond, just me and that entire family. They were incredible, And they were so supportive and so sweet through the entire Miss North Dakota process. And they invited me over for lemonade and cookies before I moved, and they were just wonderful. Well, Mr. Fleck and I kept in contact, and anytime I was in town and I would maybe run into him, he'd go, "Oh, you're how far in your education program? You'll be done when?" So we kind of kept in contact. Then, when the time arose, I was told that for student teaching, I was allowed to go back home to Williston, and I could student teach in a school in Williston. And I went, "That's awesome. I'm going to student teach in Williston. Everything will be great. I'll be married. And then when I'm done, maybe I'll go look up Mr. Fleck and I'll apply for a job," because he's now the principal of Williston Trinity Christian School. Thought everything was going to work out fabulous. And I sound like I'm being sarcastic, like it didn't work out fabulously. It actually worked out better than that. So I was in my practicum, and I honestly don't even remember how it all happened, but I was told I should put in an application for Williston Trinity Christian, and that they would figure it out that if I was offered this job, I would be able to student teach in my own class. And that was so surreal, and I have no idea to this day how I became blessed enough for that to happen. But I put in an application. I got a phone call while I was in a meeting for my practicum with my practicum teacher, and I got a call from Mr. Fleck saying, "We would love for you to come and interview for the job. When are you available?" So I came home as soon as I was done with practicum that very first Monday, and I interviewed with Mr. Fleck and Mrs. Blotsky. And we talked about my faith, and we talked about where I was in my educational program and how much farther, and it came out that they thought I was done with student teaching, when really I still had student teaching to go in the fall. So we talked about student teaching somewhere else, and then I would come into a classroom halfway through the year, and there was just a bunch of things that we talked about and options, and this was all if I even got the job. So a couple days pass, and I get a phone call from Mr. Fleck again, and he is offering me the job as the 5th grade teacher at Williston Trinity Christian. And guys, I am so close to crying right now, because I have not told this story since it happened in depth, and I think it's just hitting me how truly amazing this opportunity has been, and how if it wasn't for those hometown people, I wouldn't have this opportunity. So I get the job. They tell me that they are going to find a long-term sub to be in the 3rd grade classroom, and the 3rd grade teacher, Mrs. Johnson, has agreed to come in and be my cooperating teacher in my classroom. Yeah, that's right. So I have planned my wedding for August 18th, and school starts August 21st, and I find out that I am going to be running my own classroom, setting it up, getting it ready, making the rules, writing the lesson plans. I quickly became known as the girl who was getting married 3 days before school started around the school. Quickly. I missed a day of professional development so I could go to my rehearsal dinner. Yeah, things got pretty crazy pretty quickly. So I met Mrs. Johnson. She was incredible. I met Mrs. Nibel, who was the last 5th grade teacher, also equally incredible. The people that I work with and have associated with and have just any kind of relationship with at that school are so sweet and so willing to help. So I met everybody, got everything going, got the ball rolling. I'm working on my wedding. I'm working on setting up my classroom. I'm just working on everything. And school starts. Now try explaining to a bunch of 5th graders that you are their teacher, But there's also a teacher in the back of the room who has to be there because technically you're not a teacher. That led to a lot of interesting conversations. But my 12 weeks was up. Mrs. Johnson went back to 3rd grade. Mrs. R left 3rd grade, and she was no longer the long-term sub. Now she's doing subbing just kind of around the school. And I had to be a sub for a while in my classroom because my degree was not posted, so I couldn't get my teaching license. Long headache of a process later, today I get an email from ESPB that my teaching license has been issued and I am officially a teacher. So Friday, January 11th, I will be signing my very first teaching contract at Wilson Trinity Christian School to be their 5th grade teacher. And I am so incredibly humbled by that, and I can't believe that it's happening or that it's coming true or that I have now officially made it halfway through the school year and all my kids still have all their fingers and all their toes, and yeah, I just, it's incredible, and it's so humbling, and so is truly a blessing, the situations that I have received. So I'm now married. We got married August 18th. I was able to keep my head attached through planning the beginning of the school year and planning a wedding. We have a rambunctious little dog named Huntley. She will be a year old next month. She is half Siberian Husky, half Red Fox Lab. She is psychotic, and I mean that in the most loving way that a mother could ever say it. Zach has worked at a few jobs. He just started at Ryan Automotive. Probably a month and a half, 2 months ago. And he loves every single minute of it. He loves everything about it. He loves what he gets to work on. He loves who he works with. He's found it. He's found his place that he wants to work and where he wants to be. And I honestly didn't know if that would happen, and I'm really, really glad that it's somewhere as great as Ryan. So yeah, that's just kind of where everything is right now. I am just teaching, and now that I'm done with school for 2 years, I don't have to go back until it's time to renew my license again. I'll have to get some renewal credits. So I'm done with school for a couple of years, and I'm just ready to see what not being a full-time student and being even more of a full-time professional teacher really has for me. I'm already kind of feeling like, what do I do with all this extra time? So I've been thinking about a side job or a side gig or whatever you want to call it. A lot of people I know sell like Mary Kay and Lime Life and Arbonne, and while I use a lot of Arbonne products, I don't want to take something on as big as that. So I've been thinking about like maybe dog treats or maybe baked goods or something. But I actually think the last couple days I've been thinking about it, and I think I want to do something with my photography. So I always said I was going to go to school to be a photographer as my minor, and it never really worked out. But I really love photography, and I have the camera, and I love taking pictures. And I'm not talking the kind of photography where you do senior pictures or family portraits or anything like that. I'm talking about I just drive and I take pictures of what I think looks beautiful or pretty or just anything. I have a couple pictures that I already have put together, and I did a lot of photography work with my 4-H Clever Clovers when I was in that, and I loved it, and I learned a bunch of rules and different things that you can do. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up some kind of page, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Etsy, I don't know. And I'm going to have a portfolio, and people can go through, and now guys, I'm working out the kinks. I just started thinking about this. So if you have any comments or if you'd be interested in something like this, let me know. And then that will make me feel a little bit better. Also, let me know if you even watched this vlog. Like I said, I kind of feel like I'm talking to myself. So if no one really ends up watching this, or if it doesn't take off, I'm probably just gonna be done with it. But anyway, I set up a portfolio and people can go through and they can say, I want this picture of this flower in an 8x10 matte canvas. What I would charge them is the price it would cost me to order that matte canvas from wherever, and then maybe like $5 extra, $5 or $10 extra because I'm the one that took the painting. Now, the services I'm going to be using, could you do it yourself? Yes, you 100% could. But it's just something I really want to do, and maybe I'll try and fail, and I'll just be like, okay, no one bought a single picture. This is a bad idea. I need to figure something else out. I don't know. But if you are interested in maybe seeing some of my photos, or if that's something that you think sounds cool, I don't really see a lot of people selling personal photos. So I'm thinking maybe this could work. Just let me know. I don't know how the whole commenting thing on here works, but comment, send me a message on Facebook, post on my wall, do whatever. Be like, hey, Haley, saw your vlog. This is what I think you should do. Okay? Super cool. On the same note, a couple people also posted other ideas for vlogs. So if people actually do watch this, I have some more ideas. I was told by my faithful Mrs. Bean that I should talk about my Betty Boop collection and the craziness that is my Betty Boop collection. I could talk about the fact that I'm celiac and I'm currently in the middle of trying to see a doctor with what else is going on with my body. I could give you guys a tour of my office. So if you see the bumblebee wall behind me, it's because I'm in my office that my husband and I put together this summer. I could give you a tour of the place. I could give you a tour of the house. I mean, there's so many things that we could do. So also comment when you're commenting about whether you'd buy my paintings or not, or my pictures or not. Go ahead and comment ideas on vlogs that you want to see. If you want to see more vlogs. If any of the vlogs I just mentioned sound cool. I sound weird saying vlog so often. I'm going to stop. Anywho. So, yeah, that's, I talked mostly about how I got to Wilson Trinity, but I think that that's one of my most incredible stories lately. There's another idea. Maybe I'll talk about how Zach and I started dating and found each other, and oh man, there's a couple of you out there that are probably like, I've heard this story 5,000 times, I'm not interested. But for those of you that don't know, it's quite the story. So yeah, I think that that's where I'm gonna end it for tonight. And I like when I watch things or listen to podcasts and they always have something that they end in and it's always the same. And I think if I continue on, I will find some kind of signature sign off. But until then, I'm just going to leave you with, have a wonderfully blessed week. Bye, guys.